Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Potts and welcome to Digital Potts UK. So this is my first weekly overview of what I have spent, what I have saved this week. It is my first one and I'm still getting used to my new plan. I've been using it for about a month and also just recording this. So I hope you like it. It is going to get better, I promise. But sit back, have a cup of tea, or if you're like me, sweltering in the heat, so maybe an ice pole, and let's get to it. Let's go. Okay, so here is my Potts dashboard. This is kind of like my opening screen of when it comes to my budgeting. Now, my budgeting is organic. It changes, it adapts to what is going on in the Potts household at that time. But this is where we're at the moment, and it is still quite early for me. I've just been moving stuff around and changed it quite dramatically over the last few weeks. But basically, my budget goes into 3 pots. Now, not all of my money is in the joint account, so I have kind of like extras and bills that I pay. But from that, I have 3 pots, okay, and those pots are kind of my goals. So I have red pot, amber pot, and a green pot. So if we kind of zoom in into my red pot goals, these are the pots or the goals that are incredibly important, and most of my focus is on these. So if we have a look at my red pot goals, we can see here that my red pot goal is literally the credit card at the moment. That is my really big thing. So here is my red pot goal, and it is the credit cards. So my goal is to be absolutely debt free with my credit cards. I've had enough of them and I need to get them down. If you watched my video, my first video about budgeting, you know that I had a massive big situation, not terrible, but something that came up, and I had to use the credit cards a lot for that. So we're just chunking it down. So how do I manage to pay off my credit cards? Well, actually, at the moment, it is from my week food surplus. So I have an allocation of food I use per week, and anything left over from that goes straight into the credit card. I don't even wait to the end of the month. I just do it weekly and I just pay it off. I am going to be doing a snowball effect. So once first credit card number 1 is paid off, then the monthly amount that would automatically come out of my account, that standard payment, will then be automatically used to pay off credit card 2 plus my weekly food surplus. And then from there, I would then pay that off, and then my monthly allocation for credit card 1 and credit card 2 will then go towards my 3rd credit card plus my weekly surplus. So, but I will go into that a little bit more. So that's my red pot goal. My amber pot goals are things that are reoccurring or things that I just need to keep topping up. So most of these have just been wiped as well. But my amber goals are like cats, birthdays, Christmases, those things that keep your household running. These amber pots tend to be end of the month surplus. So if I've got any savings left over at the end of the month, then a portion of that will go into one of these pots. It depends. So birthdays had a little bit of a push lately because I've had quite a few birthdays coming up, but I'm going to take a pause on that and move on to Christmas predominantly because we're leading up to Christmas and I haven't been organised with it as much as I normally am this year. So it is end of month surplus or planned saving allocation. So sometimes I'll just, at the beginning of the month, I'll put some money in that pot. And if there's anything else that's happening on the way. I then have my green pot goals. These are kind of my wants. They don't impact the day-to-day running of my house, but they are important to me. So I have 2 green pots at the moment. I've got holidays and Operation James Bond. I will talk to you about Operation James Bond, but I'm not going to do it right now, but it's quite a secret one. And it's a long-term goal, a 6-year goal. But at the moment, my focus is on the holiday. I will talk about our holiday in more detail when we look at my holiday planner, but holiday is going to be the focus for a while. How I get my green pot, I make sure it doesn't take money out of my maintenance, like my house and my family life. So it tends to be extra income. That can be if I sell some books, competition wins, and also if I've denied temptations. So for me, temptations, if I go to a shop and I'm thinking about buying something and I pick it up, I'm going to go buy it. No, I put it back. That amount of money will go into my temptations denied tracker, and I will put that money towards a green pot. So it's not kind of telling me off for buying something, but I'm actively thinking, would I rather have what I've got in my hand, or would I prefer to have it in my green pot? And 99% of the times the green pot will win. That's what I did previously. So those are my green pot goals. So my focus this year is just to get rid of the credit cards and save for holiday cruise. Those are my two big ones. And of course, maintaining what is going on in the Potts household. So that's my overview, just to give you a bit of an understanding of kind of how I budget at the moment. What we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at my weekly planner and see what happened this week. So let's go. Okay, so here is my weekly planner. Okay, so it was technically my third food shop week, so 3 out of 4. I've got one more week of my allocated amount. So what I tend to do is I put straight away into my space my allocated amount for the month. So at the moment it's £100 a week, which is for food shopping. And anything left over goes into my red pot, which is of course my credit card. In the UK, it has been hot. I've had the week off, which I'm very grateful for, but I haven't done much at all. I've not been able to be as organised as I normally am. I've just been like flaking out on the sofa, stuck with an ice pole and a fan. So it's been a really quiet week. But like I said, this channel is about warts and all, so it's kind of not as busy as it normally is. But last weekend, I was able to put £22.28 into my holiday pot, which we will have a look at in a little bit and update where we are with that. That was from, I sold a lot of my books. I am a bibliophile, so I read. And I sold some of my books and it came to £22.28, and I put that straight into the holiday pot fund. I've also put in £5 into my birthday pot fund. My birthday pot fund, that was £5. It was niece number 1's birthday. I bought a gift and my eldest son thing won. I've got 2 adult kiddos, and he wanted to contribute to the birthday present, so he gave me £5 back. So I was able to put that straight back into the birthday pot. I didn't put it allocated anywhere else. I just put it straight back into the birthday pot straight away. So the thing with digital pots is that it's not kept physically in a space. I can move it around instantly, so I'm not tempted to use it in another pot or keep it in the main account. I tend to move things around quickly, and you'll see that when we come to the credit cards. So that's what I did last weekend. Wednesday, I added 61p to the holiday pot. It was a roundup feature that I had. I had 61, it was something like £19 and 39p. So I rounded up and put the 61p into the holiday pot. So I've had 2 holiday pot wins this week, which is good. Small amounts, but every penny counts. And that's where I am with my budget at the moment. I'm quite happy to just plod through it at the moment, because some months I'll be able to do more, other months I'll be able to do less. So that is where we're at. So if we have a look at my weekly spending tracker, we have a look here at groceries. So we've got our groceries here. So my grocery spend is always £100 at the moment, £100 per week. That does change. It just depends what life is throwing at us at the moment. I feel that food groceries have kind of stayed the same for the last month and a half. So we've kept it at 100, hoping at some point food groceries will go down and we will be able to kind of put that grocery spend maybe a little bit down. But at the moment, £100 is good. It's not making me tight, but I don't think it's too much. So £100 is what I have for my budget this week. And I was able to save leftover £13 and 59 pence. That's really quite good because actually the week before was quite tiny. So £13.59 is what I had left over. I didn't buy lots of reduced deals this week. We were quite tight with what we had. We had quite a lot in the freezer. We did do a little few extra itty bitty bits because England football is on when I'm recording this tonight. So we did buy some kind of like Pringles and things like that. So that kind of added up a bit. And I needed to get some toiletry things, some cleaning products. So because of that's about where I thought it would be. So I'm actually really chuffed with that because I thought maybe it would be a little bit less. So with that, it meant that I spent in total this week, throughout the week, for food stuff, £86 and 41 pence. So what I tend to do with my groceries is not just one big food shop, it's anything that I need to get through in the week. So I tend to do my food shops on a Friday evening, and then I reset it on a Saturday, and so it's all the way through the week. So that can be if I need to go to another supermarket or a B&M and I need to get things along the way. So that's what I've spent, and I'm really, really happy with that. So we're going to take that money and do that with the credit card. Then we move on to red spends. Oh dear, there was a whoopsie this week, and it was yesterday when I'm recording this, and I went to my brother's work and I spent £8.10. I was not going to do it, but I decided it was a Friday, it was a very hot week, and so I got myself a drink to cool down, a couple of drinks to cool down. I enjoyed it muchly. Do I regret it? Yes, because that could have gone into the holiday pot. It was £8, and I could have put that into the holiday pot or in Operation James Bond. But it is what it is. So I really make sure that I've got no whoopsies next week, because that's quite a big whoopsie for me. Actually, I'm normally pretty good with temptation. Absolutely. I haven't spent anything in amber. I've only gained an amber, and I've spent nothing in green. So it's been a really super quiet week, and we've done okay. On another note, though, I have had 2 competition wins. Woohoo! So I have won a book voucher, and we have won a Pokemon set. So I will make a note of competition wins in a minute, and I will talk about those much more on Wednesday, so in a few days' time on the channel, where I'll go through my wins for the month. So all in all, not been a super spendy week, saved a little bit, so it's not too bad. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go off to my debt payoff planner and add in that £13.59. So let's go. Okay, so I am a little bit of a sleepot because I didn't hit record. So I'm just going to go through what I did originally. But what we had here is that here is my debt payment planner. I have 3 credit cards, and I'm going to do the snowball effect. So I'm starting on credit card 1 right now. Credit card 1 is that I have its monthly scheduled repayment, and then anything that I've been able to save from my weekly food shop. So you can see last week from a weekly food shop I saved £8.56. The £86.24 is actually the monthly repayment, and then £13.59 is what we saved this week on food shop. So I've added those. So I've had 2 red pot contributions since kind of making this kind of planner. What the plan is that, as you can see, it is a snowball effect. So what my plan is that once I've paid off credit card 1, the £86.24, that's kind of my target, is that monthly kind of amount. I will add that and pay off credit card number 2. So credit card number 2 will have the standard monthly payment that comes out, plus the old monthly payment of credit card 1 and any additional red pot food shop saves. Then when you move on to 3, is going to be a bigger snowball because you'll be using the monthly repayment from credit card 1 and credit card 2, and you will be putting that to credit card 3 plus the monthly spend for credit card 3 and any additional food saves. So that's what I'm intending to do. So that's where we're at right now. It's the first month that I've been really doing this and logging it. So it's kind of like, baby steps at the moment. But so far, we've gone from 750 to 575. So I'm really chuffed with that because that's quite a big chunk. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at my tracker debt dungeon and physically see how that relates to a visual kind of idea of where we're going with this. So let's go. Okay, so if you've watched my previous video, you know that the thing with cash stuffing was I love the trackers and being able to tick off when I've saved some money. So here is my tracker. It is Debt Dungeon, and it's basically defeat the debt, claim your freedom. So every time I make a certain amount of money, as in I am able to put a payment in, I kind of get every step gets closer to my freedom goal. So we can see here, got a starting balance of 750. My target payoff is like zilch, 0, yeet the card. And each step, so these little steps along the way, okay, is worth £25. So what we've then figured out, so if every step is £25 and we go back and have a look, actually what I've done so far is I've been able to save 7.5 spaces. So £25, £25, £25, £25. So that there is 20, 50, 75, 100 and half, round about half. Okay, so it's just over 10 there. So already you can see that just this month I've been able to clear over £100 of my credit card debt. And that's not taking out of my, out of my monthly wages, making us tight. It's just using the extra spends from food shopping that I had already allocated. So already not even just making myself tight, just not using that additional saved money that I'd already budgeted for. I've been able to put in my credit card. So it is a smaller process than some other people who kind of just allocate all their money and, squeeze. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this in a way that it's not impacting my daily life. So it is going to take me a bit longer, but I'm really happy with that. So at the moment, credit card 1 is on its way. Once we see credit card 1 done, I think that the rest will be a bit quicker because we're obviously saving credit card 1's monthly spend and putting it into the other pots. So far, really fantastic. So my current balance is £576.41 and my starting balance was 750. So whoop whoop, really happy with that. Next thing I want to go to is the holiday planner because we had a little bit of a green save this week. So let's go. Okay, so here is my competitions win log. I just put everything down. You will see next couple of days that I will have my kind of history of comping and how I do it and what I do. So if you're interested in entering competitions, then please do watch that. It's been a pretty quiet month, 2 months. I hadn't won anything, and then I had 2 prizes at once. Woohoo! So what did we win? So we've won a Pokemon set, and you can see it there. It's kind of like a Chinese pack that had 3 packs inside. We won that on X, formerly known as Twitter. It was a social media competition. It's worth around £30, but we've kept it. So we're huge Pokemon nerds in this family. So they have been ripped and as in opened and put into our Pokemon folders. So very happy Mr. Potts there. So we've kept that one. That was just a lovely little bonus for us. So because we are Pokemon mad, we do enter and specifically target Pokemon stuff. So nothing to add to the budget or the budgets or the pots for that one, which is fine. I then won another social media competition. It was this time Instagram, and I won a £10 book gift card. Woohoo! Very tempted to spend it on myself because I can never have enough books, but I'm not. What I am going to do is I am going to keep that gift card and put it towards Christmas presents. Now, that doesn't mean that in my Christmas pot that I'm going to deduct £10. I'm still going to keep going with my pots, but when it comes to Christmas, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to buy a book or two for my nieces and nephews. I have quite a few nieces and nephews. So that £10 I can use in Waterstones, and I'm going to go in and buy some of the books that I would buy for my nieces and nephews, because every year one of their Christmas presents is a book. Okay, so that's perfect. So I'm going to keep that, use that for Christmas gifts. So, woo, that's great, because technically, in theory, I'll either not need to add £10 down or be able to keep that £10 and because I haven't spent it and roll it on to next year. So happy days. So 2 competition wins this week. So yes, really good on the way. And it's great because I've had a little bit of a dry spell. So yeah, great, fantastic. So that's my competition wins this week. So hopefully we can get some more added in soon. What we are going to do now is go on to our debt payoff planner and log that £13.59 that we have saved this week. So let's go. Okay, so here is my holiday planner. Here it is. And we have just literally this week paid our deposit for a family holiday to Norway. It is a Norwegian Fjord cruise. We'll be going in June 2027. And it is an expensive holiday. That's all I'm going to say. But we did do balcony because it's Norway. So we have a target of £5,000. We have paid quite a big chunk to the deposit. So £5,000 is all the additional spend. So we did do a huge chunk this week towards the deposit for 3 of us. As thing 1, we've got 2 adult sons, but thing 1 paying for himself. So phew, good. Okay, so we do have until just the end of January to kind of pay this off and really hit on it. Really don't want to use the old credit cards on this, so I'm going to try and save as much as I can. So it is a cruise, and we are set sailing in the UK. Okay, so we have quite a lot to do, and slowly does it. We did have a bit of savings before for holiday, which we've obviously used for this for the deposit. So I did have a teeny tiny little save this week, so we can add to that. So I was able to save 61p, which doesn't sound a lot, but I'm adding 61p to the pot, and that 61p means we've saved £26.21 over the last week and a half. So with that in mind, we are still needing £4,973.79. Blimey, that is a lot. But we will do it. It will be fine. So we have a holiday pot planner. We still have a long way to go. And this is why Green Pot is pretty much going to be focused on the holiday, and any extra income, if I sell my books, if I make any money on competitions, anything like that, and any additional saves throughout the month or the end of the month is going to be going on our holiday. It's a really big push for us. So that's our holiday planner. Itty bitty, just an itty bitty amount, but it's better to save a little than spend a lot. So that is our focus for this year. So that is everything. So that is everything for my weekly overview. I hope you enjoyed that. Still getting used to recording this and keeping everything aligned. But I hope you enjoyed that. And my next videos will be the reason why I do competitions and how to enter competitions, and also what I have won this month with my competitions, which will be on Wednesday. So look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye. Okay, so here is my competitions win log. I just put everything down. You will see next couple of days that I will have my kind of history of comping and how I do it and what I do. So if you're interested in entering competitions, then please do watch that. It's been a pretty quiet month, 2 months. I haven't won anything, and then I had 2 prizes at once. Woohoo! So what did we win? So we've won a Pokemon set, and you can see it there. It's kind of like a Chinese pack that had 3 packs inside. We won that on X, formerly known as Twitter. It was a social media competition. It's worth around £30, but we've kept it. So we're huge Pokemon nerds in this family. So they have been ripped and, as in, opened and put into our Pokemon folders. So very happy Mr. Potts there. So we've kept that one. That was just a lovely little bonus for us. So because we are Pokemon mad, so we do enter and specifically target Pokemon stuff. So nothing to add to the budget or the buying, the budgets or the pots for that one, which is fine. I then won another social media competition. It was this time Instagram, and I won a £10 book gift card. Woohoo! Very tempted to spend it on myself because I can never have enough books, but I'm not. What I am going to do is I am going to keep that gift card and put it towards Christmas presents. Now that doesn't mean that in my Christmas pot that I'm going to deduct £10. I'm still going to keep going with my pots, but when it comes to Christmas, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to buy a book or 2 for my nieces and nephews. I have quite a few nieces and nephews. So that £10 I can use in Waterstones, and I'm going to go in and buy some of the books that I would buy for my nieces and nephews, because every year one of their Christmas presents is a book. Okay, so that's perfect. So I'm going to keep that, use that for Christmas gifts. So, woo, that's great, because technically, in theory, I'll either not need to add £10 down or be able to keep that £10, and because I haven't spent it, and roll it on to next year. So happy days. So 2 competition wins this week. So yes, really good on the way, and it's great because I've had a little bit of a dry spell. So yeah, great, fantastic. So that's my competition wins this week. So hopefully we can get some more added in soon. What we are going to do now is go on to our debt payoff planner and log that £13.59 that we have saved this week. So let's go.